crazy. We're gonna have a new home. We're gonna live on a lake. Oh my god, I have to call my sister. I got the house.
Oh, congrats! Look at you go!
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I was just watching your video.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, I've got some crazy and exciting news.
Okay, let's hear it.
I bought a house.
A what? Oh my god, what did you do?
It needs a lot of work, so I've got some projects if you want to.
But I'm gonna be out there next week.
Is it next week or the week after? Oh wait, what is this week? When is that? Oh yeah, that is next week already. Wow.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm so excited. This house is gonna be so cool once I'm done with it, but it does require a lot of work. So I was gonna actually ask you when you were coming out here because I wondered if you would be able to meet with me and a potential contractor because you know far more than I know.
Absolutely. So let's you and I look at it first.
Okay. The inspection was yesterday, and let me just say, it went as good as to be expected. So I have never actually walked through an inspection with an inspector. I've had inspections done on homes before, but I've always just like gotten the report, taken a look over it, and then actually the first house that I put an offer in here in Birmingham, before I bought this house, I had an inspection done and it was absolute garbage. Like there was so much damage to this home that like they painted over like mold and stuff, and it was so incredibly bad. So I ended up having to drop out of the contract on that house, and this house became available, put an offer in on this house, and I ended up getting this house. But this inspection was the first inspection I walked through with an inspector, and we were there for over 4 hours. Like it was a long time, and it was a lot of ground to cover. And he kept saying that. He was like, this is a lot of house. Like there's a lot to look at. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot to look at. So let's start with the outside because that's what we looked at first. It was pretty good. So there's a few boards on the deck that need replaced, which is absolutely not surprising, and some of which I saw myself. Like one is totally collapsed, and then underneath you can actually see a few that like need work. So those will just get ripped out and replaced, not a problem. The railings on the staircases going down are not to code anymore. They're not the appropriate height. So those ideally would like to be like to the right level, but that's not an immediate concern. There is one stretch though where there's actually 3 different kinds of railings on the deck. It's kind of weird the way that they did it, but it is like a huge decking system, so it makes sense if they did it in chunks. This one section is most definitely not up to code. A child, a dog, if I honestly laid down, I could fall underneath. And I saw that the very first time I went to look at the house. I was like, this would need fixed because I wouldn't trust Fancy walking across this. So that will need to be done before I even move into the house. Otherwise, there is a little bit of rot on the outside of the house, which is not fun. Some windowsills need attention. The windows are good, but the windowsills need attention. The roof, he actually came down from the roof and was like, okay, so here's what's going on, like this side compared to this side, like there's some moss and like things like as it happens with roofs. But he said the roof looks really good. And I was like, wait a second, like it's supposed to be a 50-year-old roof. And he was like, no, those shingles were like maybe 5 years old, maybe. So I'm shocked. There's a few shingles that have fallen. He said there's like about 4 shingles that have fallen, so that would need replaced. But otherwise, the roof is in great condition, which I expected to immediately replace the roof, but apparently it's new, so I don't know what misinformation I got there. And then when we went inside the house, we also checked the attics, and like the attics are good, like no serious water damage from the roof or any problems like that. So that's great. That's fabulous. Inside the house, I knew that there was water damage in the garage, so we narrowed it down to 3 areas. One is the master bathroom that I knew was leaking anyways. Like I could see it from like actually in the bathroom, but this is right below it. So I was planning on gutting that bathroom anyways, and since you can get to it directly underneath, it should not be a problem at all because I was probably gonna like replace all those pipes and everything anyways. So that will be totally fixed, no big deal. The two other areas are also easy solutions. So that is very good to know. Like nothing crazy serious needs to happen there. I'm just like thinking through like, okay, this level of the house. So the HVAC units upstairs and downstairs both didn't work, which is not fun. I don't want to replace two HVAC units. The one downstairs is over 20 years old, so makes sense why that one didn't work. The one that is upstairs is not that old, so that one should be working. So we are actually going to be reaching out to the previous owners just to see like if they know what could be going on, if they know like an easy fix, or like maybe it's just like, oh, we didn't flip this one or something. Like I have no idea what it is. So we're gonna see if we can get that one operable. So then I only have one to replace. That would be ideal. Besides that, the dishwasher is leaking in the kitchen. So, I mean, I was planning on getting a new dishwasher anyways, but hopefully like it's not like another problem. It looks like it's just the seal on the dishwasher door. Like when we were examining it, it looks like it's just that. What else? The railings inside are not up to code because they are outdated, but that's not too big of a deal because I was going to replace them anyways. My main concern was if there was going to be like any severe damage, like something that was going to cost like tens of thousands of dollars and take up a good chunk of my budget. But really all of the problems that are going to be in the report. I haven't actually seen the report yet, but I like know what's going to be in it because I walked through the whole entire house with him. It was like what I expected. Like I knew that there was water leaking in the bathroom, and I knew that there was some kind of problem in the kitchen area, but I didn't know where the water was coming from. So it was nice to like fully address, okay, it's just the dishwasher and this is what's happening. Otherwise, I mean, we're good. So the house was contingent upon inspection. So now that the inspection went well, we're just going to hear about the upstairs HVAC, and then I'm going to like release the contingency and we are freaking moving forward on this house. Once that is done, then my dad can see it when he is in town. So I'm excited for him to see it. I can't wait to hear his thoughts. And I just know my dad is also going to do like a really, really thorough look at the house and be extremely helpful with like, okay, yeah, this is what needs done. This is what we can do. And we'll see. We're here. What do you think?
See how they did veneer here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, the deck is everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can tell just by the landscaping, like they abandoned this.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, the grass is rough.
It's all copper pipe. When was this built? You just don't want to wake up some morning and come down here and water's just spraying everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know because I've had it happen. I speak from experience. Okay. Wow.
Isn't this nice?
Yes. Yes, I'd get rid of that stupid looking mantle.
Oh, for sure.
That thing's got to go.
Yeah.
There's no hardwood there. Nope. It's
Drats.
all carpet.
Okay. That's the lake. That's why I want to like bust out the brick.
Oh. Back there, rabbit?
Chicken coop.
Chickens.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I gotta give you guys a little update, or not a little update, a pretty big update. So my dad left yesterday, and I'm so glad it just like lined up perfectly with him traveling through town that I bought this house and we were able to go take a look at it. Baby, if you want to come up here, come up here. You want my exact spot, don't you? And I'm too nice. Come on, hop up. What a little goof. My dad works in construction, so like he knows what he's doing. So it's really, really nice to have him as someone that I can like bounce ideas off of and just to have him help me with this project because he just knows so much more than I do. So we took a look around the outside of the house and really examined everything, and the damage outside is more than I originally thought, more than what the inspector really told me. And it's just like, the sad thing is, so this house was actually abandoned about a year ago, a little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. I'm not exactly sure. I just like know it's been over a year. The previous owners, one of them ended up getting sick and they just left town to be closer to family. And they didn't upkeep a lot of things. So like one of the things is like pests. They didn't have a pest service or anything. So there's bees that have caused damage to some parts of the home, which isn't great. So there's some outside work that definitely needs to be done. There's one area that I didn't notice before where it looks like they tried to do like a little patch job to some rot that was on the outside of the house, and it clearly is not like as good as it should be, and it looks like it's just like gonna lead to more problems in the future. So my dad's like, we gotta rip all of this out, put new stuff on. And I knew about like the windowsill stuff, like I told you guys about that, so we got some of those that need to be replaced. And my dad is like the greatest ever. Everything to him is like, it's easy. Like everything, he's like, this is easy, this is so easy. So this is easy. But when he was telling me, I was like, oh crap. I'm like, this is like so much work on the exterior, and the inside already needs so much work. And I'm like, I'm bummed, but it's like, you got to get the bones right. Like you got to get the outside right. And thankfully, like there's no problems with the foundation or anything like that. And it's only part of the exterior. I would have to check my notes because my dad and I made so many notes. Well, he made a lot of notes, but I have them now on like how many boards actually need to be replaced outside, because we tallied that all up and we were creating a budget together, and the material alone just on the outside work should be less than $2,000, and that's work that he thinks he can do himself. So we'll see. We will see what will happen there. Besides that, my dad and I really talked through layout and what we could do with busting down walls, reconfiguring some spaces, and yeah, so, oh man, you guys got a lot of content that is coming your way. I'm like really trying to figure out how I'm going to break all this out, because I'm pretty sure you're seeing this video before you even see a house tour. Once you see the house tour, then I'm gonna share with you guys like the renovations and stuff that I want to get done. I am so excited. This renovation and this house is just going to be so freaking legit. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this journey. Like those of you that have been following me for a while that like know my love for the lake, like I like without even sharing this information, I know you're going to be so excited to like join me on this journey, and I am so excited that I get to share. Like this is a dream freaking opportunity for me, and like create a life you love. Like I knew that this was part of my journey to creating a life that I love, and I'm just I'm so happy. Oh, we just need to like talk for a second, debrief. The only thing I'll probably ever have from Tiffany. This was not in my plan. I own this place. Whose budget? I can't cry until after it's done. Man, this is gonna be me every single day of my life. Wow, this is a hazard. And I'm like still in total denial. It needs to get done today. I don't have the option of like going back home and getting something extra I need. Oh my gosh. I just left trash. That's why we're thinking this through. Are you guys ready to go to the house?